you know, that's the main story, I guess. I don't understand how after all this time I end up at probably like the worst moment possible. These people are posting an address they think is mine. I don't live there. A picture of a house that is not the same address. Yeesh. Trending. Getting people, I'm being hit up by so many people. I'm getting strangers calling my phone, insulting me and threatening me, things like that. And at this worst possible moment, this guy who, I get it, man. We were good friends and things went bad and we both have our view of things. Would start talking about my girlfriend, my brother, bring in other family members, say lies about my relationships. Or maybe he's just wrong and for some reason decided it was appropriate to say things about my family that aren't true without knowing whether they're true or not. They're not true. And I don't even want to talk about what those things are. But he, of course, did. And it's like, this is not the core. You know, it's funny because I tweeted, when you get successful, you figure out who, you know, your true friends are and who's evil. And that had nothing to do with Adam. It has something to do with something else that's completely public and obvious. So many people probably, well, it has to do with a lot of things. Nothing specific, to be completely honest. Because I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression about what they think it might be about. It's just a general statement about how people that I knew since I was a kid, you know, from back in Chicago, all of a sudden are just saying, like, there's a dude I've known for so long. Lived with this guy. Skated with this guy. Crazy. How he just one day, out of nowhere, without giving me a phone call, starts making up lies about me. And I was like, I don't understand. Why would you do that? Like, I never said anything bad about you. The last thing I ever said to you was like, later, homie. See you on the flip side. The last time we skated together. It's funny, there's that saying about how, like, one day you'll pick up your child for the last time and you won't realize it. That's a sad saying, man. And I just don't understand. You know, there was one day where me and my buddy skated for the last time and we didn't know it. And that's so brutal. This is not Adam, by the way. But for this guy to then, you know, try and just destroy my life. This other guy. It's so hard. You know what I mean? To deal with this so many times, over and over again. There was a guy, so fucking hard to talk about this. This is my Tim Pool Cries on YouTube video. Every YouTuber has to do it. There was a guy that I worked with and lived with. Another guy. And then one day, started publishing my text messages with him. Lying. And I was just like, bro, why? What did I do to you? Any of you? Nothing. What was the last thing I ever said about Adam? We want to open a coffee house and sell his coffee, use his coffee brand. I wish him the best. And then he wants to come out and start spreading lies about my family and my relationships. Like, what did I do? Life's tough, but this is the hard reality. I wanted to take stock of my life. And it was a long time coming because it's not all about Adam. Adam plays a big role because he did a big live stream last night. I was hanging out with my friend and working over the, you know, there's a lot of work that happens. Making phone calls, trying to set up, you know, an amazing show that I hope happens. And I don't, you know, peddle in the drama stuff. But it got me thinking about the threats that I receive for the work that I do, the doxing of my house, the constant barrage that you get from betrayers and mutineers. And then at possibly one of like the hardest times for my family with the death threats we're getting, Adam decides to do that stream. And it was just like, I bust out laughing in the casino. I get a text message like, bro's on a 6-hour, at that time it wasn't 6 hours, but they were like, bro's doing this like several hour stream talking about your personal life and your family and your relationships, making accusations about you. This dude that I haven't talked to, who has like never aired his personal business and kept it between us and tried to support him and help him and just make sure that everything was good. And when he had to leave, paid his way to leave because I was always there for him and I wanted him to succeed. But he thinks it's appropriate to talk about your girlfriend and your family and spread things that aren't true because it makes him feel better. And I thought to myself, for all the people who keep doing this, what did I ever do to you? Now, some people have said, clearly, Tim, it's your fault. You know, if all these people around you keep doing it, then perhaps if you smell crap everywhere, check your boot. I know. They're right. I should check my boot. I should absolutely check my boot. And I learned a very important lesson. My girlfriend, Allison, is amazing, if you're listening. And she runs the administrative side of the company, which, you know, it wouldn't be possible without her. And every day we learn a new lesson about why the corporate world exists the way it does. Because you don't know who your true friends are. And there is no, they say don't mix, friendship and business, things like that. It's true. Because like even my friends from back home in Chicago, some of my best friends who thought it was appropriate after decades of knowing each other to come out and make up lies about me because it gives them something. You realize that some people are just evil and they never were your friends. And then I have friends who are like lefty right now even. And the left says, that's not true, Tim's lying. It's like literally true. And they're some of my best friends who are as loyal can be. And that's what I talk about, like talking to my friend who's like a lefty and like we say these things because we listen to each other. And so what I started thinking when, I saw that I get a message from someone that Adam was doing the stream and making like personal accusations that weren't true, that had nothing to do with our business relationship, that were just damaging, defamatory and to my family and to my personal reputation. Like not just like about my family. I'm like my brother never sued me. That didn't happen. I was just like, take stock this holiday season of what you're thankful for. And I am very thankful for a lot of things. People like making up lies is what they do. Nobody, I don't live here. I don't live at the castle. Briefly did when there was substantially less people here. Don't live here now. I live in West Virginia in a private house. And then people say things like Tim moved all of his employees out to a commune or something. It's like, no, but only a few people actually live in the building. Like, I think three people maybe I'm wrong. It's a very, very big building. There's a residential component outside of the office stuff. The employees all have houses and they show up for work at 9 and they leave at 5. And the vlog is a joke. Like the vlog that people are like on the weekends, literally no one is here. It's an office building. Yeah, I don't know. People make things up. So to come full circle to where we are, I didn't do this segment. People are saying damage control, and people are saying it's because of Adam. Adam added to it. I think if you guys like his content, you should watch it. I think my advice to Adam is to stop talking about me. I've asked him to come on the show as a guest before. He doesn't want to do it. I think my advice to Adam is to focus on the news and the stories and the culture and make your show what it should be, something bigger, and make a lot of money for yourself with your company. And that was always the case. That's my advice. But this is also about some other stuff too. It's just that, over the past year, it's really, really piled on. And I think it's because, as I mentioned, this was the biggest month we've ever had on Timcast IRL. There are people who are claiming like Timcast used to be so much bigger, back when Adam was on. And that's not true. It literally isn't true. Certainly we got a lot of concurrent viewers. That may be largely due to COVID. A lot of it, I do believe, was due to the dynamic that we had, which was good. The biggest shows we ever had were after Adam left. Several of them. The show became something different, became something more. And the biggest month we ever had, by all means, go on Social Blade and check, was this past month. And that's just what we're going to keep doing. Grow the company, expand. The advice I got from everybody, traditional corporate advice. Say nothing, Tim. Say nothing. Don't debase yourself with drama. And I said, that is the correct thing to do. But I'm a stupid person. And I like transparency and authenticity. And I like, you know, when there is an issue, talking about it. So that's why I decided to do it on this channel. Because this channel is like a secondary channel for me. I know a lot of you watch it and I appreciate it. I mean, if you're watching it, you probably subscribe. And, you know, I didn't want to put on the Tim Pool channel because this channel was always designed as kind of like runoff. And so here we are. And Timcast IRL will never do drama passively. Like when I say like, oh, the Young Turks were talking about me and I'll mention it, but we won't dedicate segments to people talking about me because I think the show should be for you and about the things that concern you. And then this channel is kind of just like, oh, it's a channel I have. And, you know, I appreciate it. So it's tough out there, man. The reason I wanted to do a segment like this is because it's impossible to ignore everything all the time when this is the world we live in. It's impossible to ignore the people who, on a dime, decided to hate you. People you've known your whole life, and you don't know why. They just hate you. And then you have to deal with it. And, you know, I can tell my family and my true friends, my real friends, 1,000,001 times, ignore the threats, ignore the drama, don't read the comments. It's only going to get worse. The company is growing. We're hiring more people. We're launching new shows. This is the way it's going to be. If you can't handle that, then I don't know what to say. There are very few people in this world, maybe one or two, where if they said it's either me or the show, then I would say, so be it. And I would shut everything down and I would leave. And I would go live in my van down by the river in my privacy. Some of the most common advice I've ever gotten in my life in doing business, standing atop a roof in Chicago at a party with a bunch of politicians years ago when I was a young skateboarder. And these men were all very wealthy. And they said, the biggest mistake you will ever make is making yourself public. Take the money and run. Power likes to be hidden. You won't regret it. In various forms. Fame is the worst thing you could ask for. It's cool when I go to a casino and some dude recognizes me and fans me over and I meet a friend and we gamble and I have a tremendous night where I get a straight flush and we're winning and like all the troubles wash away of all the threats while the whole world is saying they want to kill me. I'm laughing my ass off, high-fiving some dude, nailing the Jack Queen King of Diamonds. And it was like $1,400 or whatever. I tossed a black chip to the dealer and to all the players at the table because I'm not there, you know, to make money. I'm there to have a good time and to create a memory for everybody. The money you lose is just the cost of smiling and laughing with the people around you. You know, that's a great thing, and that's the advantage of notoriety, is that there are people who care about you, who believe in you, who protect you, and who cheer you on the whole time. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And that is, for every good person who smiles and waves, there is someone who brandishes a weapon or, you know, makes a threat. And you have to move, you know, get away from these cities for a variety of reasons. Not really just the threats. I don't like the laws in New Jersey. COVID was bad. We tried securing a building. The building fell through. There's a lot of complicated stuff. But, you know, mo money, mo problems is true. You'd be, the reality is this. It's not really mo money, mo problems. It is, in a sense, like with taxes and stuff, and like paperwork and accounting. But the reality is, the more people know you have money, the more problems you'll face. Dave Chappelle talked about it when they announced that $50 million contract or whatever. He said he was like a marked pig on a train. You know, he couldn't go out. All of a sudden, they were telling everyone on the TV that he was worth all this money, that, you know, he didn't have it. So he just said, I'm out. I don't want to do this. He wasn't a culture warrior, though. He's just like a truth teller, comedian kind of guy. I love that line. He says, the Second Amendment's just there in case the first one doesn't work out. He's a good dude. And he was right. But he could choose to walk away from that. I could. And don't think I haven't thought about it. It's hard. You make a certain amount of money and you know that you never have to want for anything. Why trouble yourself with death threats every single day? Why trouble yourself with people trying to find your address? So the reality is you could be super rich as long as nobody knows who you are, none of your friends and none of your family members know you have money. Golden.